Welcome back to Cards and Comics, guys. Today I want to give an update on some sets I've been collecting and some new sets I just started from the 90s. And the first up here is I'm going to give an update on my Ken Griffey Jr. 90s refractor set. Of the 120 so refractors that exist for Griffey, I'm down to the final 10 or 11. The reason I say 10 or 11 is because I've had a few. Actually, I bought that failed eBay authentication, and I got to get a refund. But here's one that did make it through, the 1999 Chrome record numbers. It's a great looking card. It's a PSA 9. You know, even if it was raw, I would have loved the card. I don't really care about the grading on these cards as much as just getting the set done. It did go through authentication. I don't know if anyone else has ever put the set together because there's only 5 of the anniversary refractors, so you know only 5 people could ever put the set together. I'd be interested to see if anyone actually put all the cards in this set together, all the refractors from the 90s. I am going to publish my set checklist as a Google Doc, so I'll put a link to it and in a video at some point. Maybe this one if I get it done before I post it. But be on the lookout for me putting that list out there if you're interested in just seeing what all cards are in the set for the 90s Griffey refractor set. But yeah, picked up a really nice one there. Next up is a set that I just officially started. I've been picking up cards in this set just randomly because I love the set and how they look. And I have 4 cards already in this set, and so I've added another 9, so I'm up to like 13 in the set. There's 40 cards in the total set, so being close to, you know, like 15 out of 40 or like 1/3, or you know, I'm like 1/3 of the way. It's the 1997 Donruss Limited Star Factors. So first up here we got Mr. Manny Ramirez. Beautiful card. He's actually pretty well centered. Hard to find these cards well centered. It has the print line. You know, there are thoughts that some cards may have been backdoored to sheet cut. That's some of the cards that graded high, but it's one of the sets that, even though there's rumors of it, some of it being backdoored, based on just the volume of cards you see on eBay and just how hard some of these cards are to see come up for sale, that stated print run of 40, a lot of collectors and Baseball Cardpedia and a lot of people do think it's pretty legit. Could it be a swag? Could there be 50, 60, 70 cards? Maybe. But it's not 200 or 300. It's not 500 or something like that. There's not a horde somewhere sitting now. I think that would have already came to light. Because cards like these Pulsars, the Fuller Brilliance, you know, there was some that hit the market from people who bought cards in that bankruptcy sale, and they finally have hit the market. So, you know, we'll see, but they are beautiful cards. I've just started the set, so I have like 13 or 14 of the total set. I haven't gone through counted, but the reason why I actually have declared I'm putting the set together now is because I've actually picked up one of the big 4. So in the set itself, there is a Griffey, a Thomas, a Bonds, and a Jeter. So to get those big 4, you really can't say you've got close to the set. But I picked up one of the 4, so I'll show you who that is here in a minute. Here's Juan Gonzalez. This is a more typical centering for this card set. Off center to the right. A lot of them are up center, top to bottom. So the Gonzalez was a staple in the 90s. He's in a ton of insert sets, so it's not common for him to be in this set. Again, the print run on this set was 40. That's what was stated in the advertising materials, and that hasn't been very much disputed in terms of just how rare the set is. Obviously, anything could happen. You know, something could be, you know, there could be someone sitting on a pile of these cards. Who knows? But they haven't come to light yet. This card is definitely very off center, top to bottom. I think this card represents sort of what a lot of cards in this set are, which is just beautiful cards, but just they're imperfect. You can't get 10s in the set very easily. So I'm just putting the set together. I'm not trying to do an all 10 set or an all 9 set or whatever. I'm just looking to get, you know, all the cards for the set. So that's Andy Pettit. Next up is Chuck Knobloch. So again, with 40 cards in the set, you're not going to get everyone being a Hall of Famer for sure. And he's still with the Twins here. So this is before the yips kind of characterize his career with the Yankees. And this is a very, you know, typical card for the set. What you've got one card one front or picture showing him batting, the other one fielding, and that's sort of that double star factor, use of those photos. So not all players can have that because like the Brady Anderson, there's not a lot of I guess photos of him fielding, so they did this kind of weird double pose, and you kind of got him, just posing in two different with the bats because he was just known for being a hitter more than anything, and having just that one really freakish year that people have questioned pretty heavily since then. But he's in the set, so Brady Anderson. Here's a really, I think, a guy who obviously ruined his kind of image, but was a great player, and it's Roberto Alomar. You can see this one's off center, both top and to the left. So double refractor there, and and this set was definitely a response to 97 Finest. It definitely has more shine to it than any of the base refractors for tops. Now, when you get into the silver embossed and the regular or gold embossed refractors, and those cards definitely are, like a tier better than these cards. But for just the base refractor design, this is very satisfying, very shiny. Probably one of the shiniest cards of the 90s. That's just a base kind of or parallel, like a base kind of parallel. So there you go, Tony Gwynn, just a beautiful card. Love, getting these kind of rare Tony Gwynn cards. It's so funny to go through some of these sets, and see how many times Tony Gwynn or Ricky Henderson shows up, or Ozzie Smith. These guys were huge superstars, but sometimes they're missing in some of the key 90s insert sets, and Tony Gwynn's in this set. This set definitely doesn't miss very many players. It captured, there is a Bonds, Griffey, Thomas, and Jeter in this set. And again, the reason why I've just declared I'm pitting the set together now is I picked up one of the big four. So again, you can't put the set together unless you got the big, one, get, line of sight to those, guys. And obviously the Griffey is always going to be the big dog. And so that's going to be the biggest challenge there, is to get the Griffey. Next up is a graded card, kind of rare. Most things I've been buying is in raw. This is a near mint 7, Ivan Rodriguez. I think this is very typical for the grade. It's off center, left to right, and top to bottom. Print line right in the middle of the card. So that just kind of gives you an idea of like what to expect for grading. So these are, if you grade these cards, expect 6 to 8, not 9s and 10s. If you got a perfectly centered one without print lines, then that's just such a rare thing to find. This is what the cards are most likely, and you're getting the 7s or 8s. So this set is very difficult to get in high end. So the card I picked up that led me to think I would actually be able to say I'm collecting the set now is I picked up one of the big four, and it's the Frank Thomas. I got it off of a Facebook group I just joined. One of my Instagram followers, DL, who's a good dude. We've done trades before. He kind of like said, hey, there's this card. What do you think it's worth? I'm like, dude, I would pay whatever, the price that is listed there. And he was awesome to let me buy the card. I did take it for full value because I just felt like, I'm not going to try to cut a better deal. Like, it's one thing to like, hey, dude, if you're going to pay that, or you want the card and you're going to pay that much for it, that's cool. I don't want to pay that much. But then for me to strike a bargain and get it under what, or to get it for a price he would have wanted it, I think that I didn't want to do that. I want to be like, oh, thanks for letting me have the card and I got a great deal. I paid the guy's full price, and I think it was priced perfect at what I was willing to pay. It's a rare card. It's the Frank Thomas. It's not the sample, which gotta be careful. There is the sample card. It's pretty darn well centered for the set. It does have the print line. It's got a little bit on this card. A very common issue. This card again is just like a Finest. You get these kind of cloudiness, these spots. So you see that a little bit there on that right edge. I think the back has it as well. On one of the, I think through here, there's a little bit of that cloudiness. So, but I just love this card. Just simply love it. When I got it in the mail, I opened it today actually, and just sit and looked at it for a while because I've never owned this card. I've never seen this card in real life. I've never even thought I would, like own it after the last couple of months where the set and just rare 90s cards have kind of blown up even more. I mean, we're in like the 15th time that we're surprised that something's bringing just insane value in the 90s. I just think we shouldn't be surprised anymore. If something goes super high, it's not because people are pumping and dumping, but it's a genuine interest in collecting these cards, and people will realize how rare they are. I opened a box of this on my channel for people who want to check that out, that video. I did not pull a Star Factor limited exposure in that box. They're not one per box. This is not like, okay, if you open a box of this, you're going to get one Star Factor limited exposure. Nope. They're pretty rare. You definitely don't get one per box, but I just thought this is really awesome. Thanks to, everyone who worked with me on the steel. Just great, easy transaction. Got it, in less than 5 days. Another set I've been slowly putting together. And again, I'm much less close on this set, but I just keep plugging away at cards in the set. It's the 99 credential set. So here's Jose Guillen, and this is, I believe, the then or the now. I think it's the now. And this one is numbered out of 65. Pirate, so double whammy for me. Next up, I got the Juan Encarnacion. Raw. Numbered to 80. 65 of 80. And I love this set design so much. And I just picked up the Griffey this year. And I had the Barry Sanders, so just a set that I've totally, fell in love with. Here is a now Galarraga. Near mint 8. Numbered out of 91. These cards also, I just love how the backs look. This looks so cool. And then last but not least, for sure, is the Ivan Rodriguez. And that is numbered out of 93. So 4 really cool pickups there. And the 99 Skybox EX Century Essential Credentials then and now. Some one-offs here. I picked up another Man Refractor. This is the Travis Lee. And I kept it in this. So this holder here is interesting. This is an actual PSA holder. This is the first gen or first case I remember for PSA graded cards. It was like, I think it's a safe slab. So here is the near mint to mint 8. It's been peeled. So it's a clean card. Just beautiful. I mean, again, this is when you get into like, where are we seeing some damage here? I don't know. I don't see it. Maybe that scratch right there. Probably that scratch. But I remember when this holder came out, and a lot of people put their, they like today, they don't want to sell or buy cards that or have cards that have damaged holders. And I think it was relevant then. It's relevant now. I think there's even a bigger market for people who just want to have clean cards, and this is an example of that. So, but the Travis, again, I didn't show it, but this is numbered out of 75, 3275. So I think this is like the 4th Man Refractor I've owned. So I have like 4 different ones. I believe it's, I don't know if it says it was out of, but I mean, there's a lot of man. This is number 15. I mean, you got to buy, this set's going to be just a doozy to put together. Now I do have the Frank Thomas, so I have a good start there, but love the set, and it's probably one of the most colorful and deep looking refractors of the 90s. All right. Down to like a few, the last couple cards here. One is a set I've been on a slow burn. I picked up, the Griffey a long time ago. Just picked up a Jeff Bagwell, and now I picked up the Mark McGuire. I have the Eddie Murray as well. So I've got 4 or 5 cards in the set now too. I forget how many cards in the set. It says 9 of 25, so it could be 25 cards in the set. I don't have Baseball Card PD open up, but that sounds about right. I'll take its word for it. It's a 9.5, so it's a great grade. I mean, even though Beckett isn't as relevant as it used to be, it's still cool to see a Beckett graded card here. Again, these were supposed to be a CD print run of 100. The 98 version is 50. So very interesting. They cut it in half. And then last but definitely not least, this is probably it's hard to say my favorite because the limited exposure Star Factor Frank Thomas, very special cards out of 40. It's actually a much lower print run than this card, but this card's pretty iconic as a Griffey and Frank Thomas collector. This is a huge card. You got to have this card in your set. It's a 93 finest refractor Frank Thomas, and I've been slow building the 93 refractor set. I pick up, 4 or 5 cards, maybe 10 cards a year. And I've just slowly been building this up. I've got the Griffey, I've got the Thomas, I've got a few of the big cards. So now I'm just kind of slowly building the setup. It's just a great card, and it's just, I know everyone talks about the greening and everything else going on these cards. I just think that first year refractor, such a iconic design. And hard to get people. No one wants to part with these cards. CD print run at 240, but people have there's a lot of questions whether or not that's a real number, but they're still pretty rare. So it's a near mint 8. It goes well because I do have the Griffeys right here. So there we go. There is the pair, Griffey and Thomas. So there is my big update for the, for all my sets I've been building, sets I've just started. I just, think putting sets together is fun. It gives you something to do. I mean, I love the fact that I can still move the needle by, buying, like a non, Frank Thomas or Griffey card, like a McGuire, and still move the needle. Or this Travis Lee, like much cheaper card than Griffey Thomas or Jeter than cards like that. So this is just a fun way of keeping the set going and, enjoying the design and having fun with it. So that's what it's about, having fun with it. Let me know what your favorite pickups were for my sets I've been building. Let me know if I should build some other sets that you think I should be building. These are the ones I've been working on lately. But let me know in the comments anything you want, and hopefully I'll see you soon. And the Nationals coming up, guys. I'll be there. If you want to say hi, I will be wearing probably my Cards and Comics hat. So stop in and say hi, and I'll see you next time on Cards and Comics. Bye.